Hello, you're watching Niaga Awani with your host Nina Rosman, and for today's first topic, with Malaysia continues to strengthen its position as a leader in innovation and technology in the ASEAN region. With key strengths in AI communication and the digital economy, Malaysia holds significant potential for tech-driven growth. Despite challenges in innovation and commercializations, efforts are underway to overcome these barriers. Malaysia's presence at the Mobile World Congress MWC Barcelona 2025 is an opportunity to showcase its success and forge global collaboration. And for that, I welcome you, our guest, Datuk Rais Hussin, Mohamed Ariff, the Chief Executive Officer MRANTI. I want to say thank you very much, Datuk, for joining me. Firstly, we can see that Malaysia has been positioning itself as a regional leader in innovation and technology. What key strengths set Malaysia apart as a gateway to innovation on the global stage?
I think we can look from 6 different dimensions when we talk about how we set apart from the others with regards to gateway to innovation. Firstly, we look at the strategic location and market access, or ASEAN scalability. We are actually positioned as part of ASEAN. Malaysia serves as a key hub for cross-border trade and innovation, offering access to close to 680 million strong market, and 65%, a whopping 65% of whom are under 35. This strategic advantage makes the nation an ideal test bed for regional tech solution. And we must remember our Global Innovation Index, GII ranking, 33rd in 2024, and best performance since 2016, validates progress. But there are gaps in knowledge and technology outputs, highlight the need for stronger R&D to market pipeline. I think this is the first dimension that we need to look into carefully. The second dimension is the strategic active neutrality and balanced partnership. Malaysia has been always in the centerpiece and trading nation, and we practice active neutrality. We accept everything that is good, whether it's east, west, or anywhere. And we act in the best interest to attract the right FDIs, right technology to this country in our best interest. And that also makes us as a regional hub powerhouse. The other dimension, which is the third dimension, is the resilient digital economy with cross-sector potential. If you look at Malaysia recently, our technology sector has seen massive investment. Just the digital economy to a projected US $31 billion in gross merchandise value by 2024, a 16% increase from the year. I mean, this is a massive increase. Yeah? Yes, this is before Trump, and even after Trump, so long we are in the trajectory of active neutrality, we are perfectly all right. This growth further reinforced by substantial FDIs that came to Malaysia through all the data centers that not only sprawling in Johor, but it's also all across the peninsula, including Selangor. The data center boom, I just talked about that, and then government initiative and achievement. Programs like My Digital, the National AI Office, and the MyStreet framework all demonstrate a continuous, strong, straight-level commitment. And TIPM, or MRANTI, Malaysia's premier innovation facilitator, why I do say that, that is our core business of accentuating innovation across Malaysia. And the 6th dimension we are looking at, we have taken up the ASEAN Chairmanship in 2025, beginning January. If you remember, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim have spoke about the 7 strategic thrusts. 2 of it was digitization or digitalization and sunrise technology. I think these 6 dimensions are important dimensions to be considered, and the strength that set us apart from other countries to become a gateway to innovation.
These are the 6 dimensions that sets Malaysia apart in innovation at the global stage, and with rapid advancement in AI communication and digital economy, and one of the 6 dimensions that you mentioned previously is the cross-sector potential. So what are the most promising sectors for Malaysia's tech-driven growth? How can we support these industries to scale and compete globally?
If we look at the ways and means to support these industries to scale compete globally, we must understand that AI is going to be, already is a core growth engine. It is estimated AI could add $155 billion US dollars to Malaysia's GDP by 2030. Not just revolutionizing manufacturing, but also sectors like healthcare, agriculture, and finance. We all know in agriculture, we lack a lot of things that we need to do. There's a lot of serious gaps. We still import 98% of our dairy product requirement. We import 85% of our meat requirement. We import even 73% of the chili requirement. Forget not the brass. So here we have done some studies before. For instance, when I was in a different agency, we did a study using IoT in agriculture. It clearly increased the output by 33%, the yield by 33%, and the revenue by 22%. This is massive. And then healthcare. We need to deploy a federated learning, a machine learning approach that enables multiple devices on organization to train the model collaboratively. I think that's very key. Yeah? And we want to have a specific time, and we want to be speed to provide the treatment and all that. So in our role, obviously the key enablers will be invest in AI research, artificial intelligence research. As we speak, we talk about artificial generative intelligence, artificial agentive intelligence. And these are things that's progressing so fast. What started with few thousand microcomputing capabilities today is 75 trillion. And the size of that chips are the size of a mobile phone. Things have changed massively. A robust digital infrastructure is important, balanced regulation. There should be ethical AI, data privacy, fairness, and this is a way to pave the way for new industries and high value jobs. And our role, Technology Innovation Park Malaysia or MRANTI, providing AI-ready testbeds. We have the National AI Office, ensures aligned AI governance, while we at TIPM, NTI's AI Sandbox, which was launched sometime last year, support startups, including those partnering with NVIDIA. Everybody knows about NVIDIA, how big they are. And that they've signed up to train more than 13,000 graduating students in the area of AI and 900 startups in the area of AI. This is massive.
And this is a great, we can say, initiative. We're also taking a lot of development of data centers, initiative from the governments and also agency, and as you mentioned, the role of increasing, or we can say within the role to invest in AI R&D. Despite the strong initiative, Malaysia still faces challenges in innovation and commercialization. What are the key barriers and how can we address these gaps?
If we look at the gaps, and let me look at the gaps and explain the gaps and also the remedies, how to overcome these gaps. Otherwise, we will keep on talking about the gaps forever, right? I think when we talk about innovation and commercialization, the first thing that comes into mind is the bridging the valley of death. Every company will go through that particular phase, startup and growth, and some of them survive, a lot of them do not survive. Currently, from our research, only 3% research output reaches market global, which is, while the global average is 10%, the delta is 7%, that's peak. We at TIPM address this through prototyping labs, funding facilitation, and industry matchmaking platform, what we call as match. It's like a speed dating between people who have challenges or pain points and people who can provide the solution. And then there's also the funding availability, and then together they will come into play. But still, the numbers are quite small, unfortunately, in the context of Malaysia. Commercial success is not just about good technology, it requires distribution channels, market understanding, and strategic communication. Also, what's the solution? Gaps are quite identified, right? So what's the solution? We need to strengthen the university tech transfer offices across Malaysian universities, especially the public universities, the TTO office. What can we do? We need to embed marketing and commercial expertise early in R&D processes. This should mandate 30% industry reps on university grant boards. I think the close relationship between the industry and the academia is very key. We should launch ASEAN IP exchange with royalty split models. Since we are ASEAN chairman this particular year for 3 years, we need to come and initiate this kind of programs where there will be IP exchange for all this. And this can include all the ASEAN countries. We should revamp KPIs for university and GLC R&D arm. If we are just focused on publication volume, then it's not going to make it. We need to go beyond the publication as the KPI. Sometimes KPI can be very, very restrictive, and people will just, okay, let me write this article, and this article is being published here, and that's it. But is that addressing the innovation and all that? Not necessarily, and I think that is an important thing. Talent paradox and brain drain. I think Malaysia has been having a lot of issues with regards to brain drain. More than 500,000 talents have left the shores of Malaysia for the last 1 decade. And these are 27-year-old and above with the right skill, knowledge, and abilities. We need to solve this. And what do? We need to bring them back. We need to provide an avenue of creativity, avenue of innovation. And even if you look at Malaysia's weak performance in knowledge and technology output, this one is reflected in GII systemic fragmentation. But we are ranked first in terms of science and engineering graduates. So that's an anomaly. So we need to address this by having a radical talent retention revolution. We need to change how we get things done. Fragmented ecosystem financing mismatch. This is something that I've always talked about. We need to move towards IOI-driven governance. What is IOI? Input, output, outcome, impact. We should not just stick to input and output, the misspending, and that's it. But we want the outcome and impact associated with that expenditure. And of course, policy and governance gaps. I think the government, if you look at Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim in his maiden speech, he talked about the strategic trust. He kept on talking about digitalization, digital transformation. He talks about sunrise technologies, encouraging high value, high-paying job FDI. I think these are in the right trajectory, but the policies and governance must be addressed.
And also talking about bridging the gap between academia and industry is crucial for innovation. And how can Malaysia strengthen this collaboration to ensure that R&D efforts translate into commercial success?
I think as a starting point, we can look at the 4 areas of collaboration. I did talk about there must be a talent curriculum alignment. We need a curriculum 5.0, not 4.0. Even that 4.0, we're a little outdated. If you look at China, when they do curriculum adjustment, they do it every 6 months. We do it probably every 3 years. That's the problem. In technology space, things move rapidly. You may conclude writing a book today, and by the time it reaches the print, you need to rewrite the book. That's how fast the technology is evolving. So I think we urgently need to rethink curricula to incorporate real-world problem solving, work-integrated learning, internship and mentorship programs. I think this is very, very important. We need to encourage T-shaped skills, technical depth plus cross-disciplinary breadth. I think if we do not have that, if you look at just to keep pace with AI quantum demands, just to keep, AI quantum literacy is very important. Are we there in the quantum space? Maybe at a very infant stage. We do not even appear in the quantum map, not yet. So these are the things, if we really, truly align with the global trends, we need to really address the curriculum alignment. Reward commercialization KPIs, not just KPI of having programs, event management, attending lectures, or attending exhibition, attending conferences, and then, so every event you have, and then you close shop. No, that's not the way. You need to have, you need to reward commercialization KPIs. And this is something that another country like Singapore has mastered, and we need to learn from that. And then tripartite partnership between marketing firms, venture capital, and third-party collaboration in R&D. And these are very, very important component of making this commercialization work, because absence of one of them means you will have a problem. And in Malaysia, in TIPM, MRANTI, we have established a National Technology Innovation Sandbox, where we fast-track approval, regulatory flexibility are there for university spin-offs. This is exactly following the Japan example, especially regulated sectors like healthcare, drones, or fintech. I think that we are there. We need to up the ante and to get things done faster, quicker. And nowadays we talk about quantum speed. It's no longer just sit down and have coffee and curry puff and meat and PowerPoint presentation and so on. No more. We need to act on it.
Act on it faster, quicker, and to take a look on the Malaysia presence at Mobile World Congress MWC Barcelona 2025 is an opportunity to showcase its success story and engage in global collaboration. From your perspective, how can Malaysia strengthen its position on the global stage, and what key lessons should we learn from leading tech nations to accelerate our innovation ecosystem especially?
I have actually attended Mobile World Congress before. And I am going to attend Mobile World Congress come next week. And in fact, I will be speaking in that Congress on AI, 5G, and from the ASEAN perspective. Now, if you look at the opportunities and strategic messaging at MWC for us, for Malaysia, we can look at the 6 main areas. First of which is going to be, we need to highlight our success stories. There are many success stories that we have achieved in the last few years, especially the data center boom, 5G use cases. We've used, and in fact, in TIPM MRANTI, we have our own 5G experience center, which became a nucleus for many POCs across agri-tech and health tech, and AI-driven precision farming pilots. I think these are good things that we need to showcase. We need to continue to promote active neutrality. You know now that President Trump has certain views about the world. He has America first, and then he has many things that he keeps on saying. But I always tell people, don't listen to what he says, but listen, see what he does. And when you see what he does, there are certain things that he does very quickly. We need to position Malaysia as a Switzerland of AI. That means completely independent, actively neutral party to artificial intelligence, leveraging active neutrality to host US cloud giants. We have AWS, Googles of the world, and Microsoft and so on, while having a close relationship with also their counterparty. But we become the most neutral ground for AI technologies. So I think this is important to be showcased in this Mobile World Congress. Leveraging ASEAN Gateway is another thing. We have 680 million market. It's a massive market. ASEAN is very peaceful, relatively peaceful. We have a prosperous economy. We need to showcase how we foster cross-border collaboration. As an ASEAN chair, we have that particular abilities to do now. And again, Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has spoke about how to go across creating the power grid across ASEAN, digitization or digital transformation across ASEAN. That's another thing. Talent magnetism. We need to keep on talking about digital nomad valley with 10-year tax holidays. I think this is important. Offer equity-based visas for AI founders. These are the things that we need to talk about. Recently, Trump came up with the $5 billion visa gateway to citizenship in America. So what he's trying to do is that they're trying to bring all these businesses, entrepreneurs, techpreneurs, and all that to the US, bring the money in and create economic activity and so on. So we need to think out of the box. Every country is moving in a certain direction. Now, lessons from a leading nation. Who are the leading nation in this space? We have Korea, we have China, we have the US, we have, but let's look at what South Korea, Germany, and EU can help refine our approach to talent development. So South Korea, Germany anchored educational reform to sustain a strong pipeline of skilled workers. This is to apply to our to bridge our digital skills gap. And this is an issue. We have a serious issue in the area of brain drain. Enough research has been done. South Korea, for instance, came up with 111 R&D model, where government, Chabol, SME co-founding, they foster close relationship. You cannot work alone. Again, you must remember the famous football team, Liverpool, you never walk alone, right? So you need to work together to make sure, to make it happen. Kalau tidak, there will be a big problem and there will be serious gaps. And now we are in the very good position. Our FDI has grown phenomenally, and in this area of technology, you have a prime minister who really understands the need for such things and provide those support system and infrastructure within Malaysia. I think we're in the right time, right trajectory. Only that we need to intensify that, the gegenpress it, intensify this thing and not wait on it that something will happen.
Datuk, looking ahead, other than fostering stronger collaboration cross-border, what are Malaysia's top priorities for 2025 and beyond? How do you envision Malaysia's tech landscape evolving over the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay, in the technology space, you cannot talk about 5 to 10 years, boss. Why? Because technology evolves so fast. As I said, few months ago, or maybe 1 or 2 years ago, the GPU speed for AI was merely hundreds of thousands. Today, it goes into trillions, and you see how fast it evolves. So I think, generally speaking, we can cluster that into 6 top priorities to me. Number 1, we continue with our digital transformation and infrastructure. We need to work on a proper 5G networks. We want to prioritize broadband. Data centers must be energy tech convergence, making sure that data centers are just not energy consumers, but also put in the green factor as well. Prioritize our My Digital 25.5% GDP target by 2025 through SME digitization. I think the SME digitization is very important, and 5G expansion is also important to fast track the SMEs. 5G is not for all. It is for SMEs, it's for the science parks, technology parks, it's for IoT-enabled businesses. This is important. Prioritize digital inclusion by expanding affordable high-speed internet access and enhancing digital literacy. These are all big words. We need to have a backhaul to reach all density. And Industry 4.0 adoption in manufacturing. In Malaysia, our adoption is not very high yet. We need AI to come in. AI brings in a lot of efficiency and effectiveness in production and so on. Number 2, sustainability, green technologies I've spoken about. I think most of the data centers today make it a condition that there should be a sustainability and green technologies incorporated in the provisioning of data centers. Education and talent development, I cannot emphasize more. This is very critical. To have a future-ready nation, we need future-ready workforce. We need the strengthening of STEM education. This is a continuous process and also involve the curriculum development. A radical talent retention revolution. How do we retain the talent? How do we retain the talent from continuously going over to other countries? And inclusive innovation and ecosystem governance. Remember, I talked about IOOI model. Everything, every money that we spend, it must have the outcome and desired impact to the society and the nation. It cannot be just organizing events or exhibition and conferences and all that, but it must go beyond that.
Datuk Rais, left with only less than 1 minute. Maybe you can share with us, for Malaysia to truly become the gateway to innovation, what mindset shift, policy or strategies do we need to prioritize moving forward?
Okay, so 1 minute. Foster a culture of ingenuity. We need to transition from follow the leader. We've been always the follower, and to one that celebrate local ingenuity and risk-taking. I think this is critical. adopt a global perspective. Like in Sweden, for instance, they never do any product services just for Sweden or Scandinavia. Their perspective is always global. Regulatory and fiscal reforms, this is very critical from the governance perspective. Strive for digital sovereignty. We cannot depend on everything digital from outside the nation. We should have our expertise, know-how, and those wherewithal inbuilt in Malaysia through the education and training and all that. And finally, measuring and tracking what matters. This is back to the IOOI model. If we do not do, if we just keep spending and spending and spending without measuring what is the outcome and impact to the society and the nation, money will be wasted. I think this IOOI model must be incorporated in every GLC, government agency, hatta even the administration, because we cannot afford to continue to spend without the outcome and impact very clearly stated and measured.
All right, again, we can hope Malaysia continues to strengthen its position as a leader in innovation and technology in the ASEAN region. Again, I would say thank you very much to our guest, Datuk Rais Hussin Mohamed Ariff, the Chief Executive Officer of MRANTI, and definitely all of our discussion here will be featured in astroawani.com and across all social media platforms.